Hello and welcome to 2018. My name is Katie. This is Catherine the 19th, the channel where we talk about living that creative life. Today, I wanted to talk specifically about how to reach your goals. This time of year, a lot of people are talking about strategies to make your New Year's resolutions actually happen. And I totally appreciate that. Today, I want to add my spin on the conversation, which is how you can use your phone, specifically my favorite apps, to use to make your goals happen. Let's get started. All right, let's take a look at what is on my iPhone 7 Plus, and I will point out along the way some of my favorite apps that I like to use for organization, productivity, and overall just working towards my goals. All right, welcome to my first page of apps. This is definitely probably my most used app, so we'll just start from the home row. What do you call that? My top 4 probably most used apps are Messenger, Instagram, and my calendar app. I switch between texting and Facebook Messenger pretty frequently. It really depends on who I'm talking to. I don't use iMessage very much with people, so if I'm gonna send someone a picture, it's usually over Facebook Messenger. Instagram obviously is another big one. I am just constantly scrolling through. Yeah, I mean, who isn't obsessed with Instagram? The calendar app is definitely important for me. I use it especially a lot on my laptop. The big thing that I love about it is the connection between my MacBook and my iPhone, so I can add events while I'm on the go on my phone, but then see them in the weekly view on my laptop. I don't do this a lot on my phone because I'm normally in portrait lock, but if you tilt your phone sideways, then this is kind of like the weekly view that I would mostly be viewing on my laptop. So it's nice for that, but mostly what I use the calendar app for on my phone is inputting events, not necessarily for checking them. I do that more on my laptop. Then we've got the standard clock and phone apps I just leave at the top. I actually do set alarms for myself quite often. Another big thing that I use it for is timing myself while I'm working on freelance projects. I think it's really important when you're working on like an hourly wage for a freelance project, you need to keep track of your hours. This is something that I'm kind of guilty of forgetting to do, and then I'll just be like, it was about an hour, and I'm always like underestimating how much time I actually spent on it. So just use your clock app, go into the stopwatch, click start when you start working, and you can always stop it and start it again if you take breaks. I use my online banking app a lot to keep track of spending. I also use a Google Sheets to keep track specifically of what I spend my money on, what my budget is, etc. If you're interested in seeing that, I could talk about budgeting because I know that finances are often a big part of New Year's resolutions. Photos, camera, and VSCO, those are pretty straightforward. Use those for Instagram mostly. LastPass is my next app, and I think that this one is really important and might be useful for you fulfilling some of your New Year's resolutions. If, like me, you have a ton of accounts all across the internet and you're worried about security, LastPass will help you organize all of your passwords and also give you suggestions on how you can improve the security. So if you use the same password multiple times, which before using LastPass, I had the same password for everything, it will tell you not to do that because it's not very secure. The most secure way to do it, and which is what I have now, is through LastPass. Literally every password for every account is different, and I don't know any of them. They are just random letters and numbers that are generated by LastPass. It's stored in there, and then you can use it on your phone as well as in the Chrome extension to log into everything from your devices. And this way, people can't hack you because they're never gonna be able to figure out your password. Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, pretty straightforward. I use these a lot. They, if anything, are bad for your productivity. So Spotify and podcasts are my main listening apps. I don't really use Apple Music. I have Spotify Premium and I make my own playlists. I really like the daily mix because that's how I learn of new music, because otherwise I, never listen to the radio. So I also really like to listen to podcasts while I'm walking to class. Some of my favorites are Dear Hank and John, Portrait of a Freelancer by Ariel Bissett, who's another YouTuber that I hung out with at VidCon. I definitely recommend checking this out if you are interested in freelance work. Gmail and Apple Mail are the two mail apps that I use. The reason that I have two, and here's a productivity tip, I guess, I have an email address that is specific to my website. So my website is k19studio.ca. That's the name of my freelance videography business. So my email address is katie@k19studio.ca. If you want to view those emails, not through the crappy like mail browser that comes with Bluehost or whatever host that you're using, you have to pay to do it on Gmail. So what you do instead is just connect your unique email address into Apple Mail, and then you can view it on your computer and on your phone. And the reason why I like to do this as well is because then it has a separation, so you know all of your work is in one place and all of your personal stuff is in another place. Notes is pretty standard, and Trello is another big one that I wanted to mention for productivity. If you haven't heard of it before, Trello is a to-do list organizational app. You can create boards that help you through every stage of your workflow. So for instance, I have my YouTube board, so I have videos to plan, videos to film. Oh look, I'm filming this one right now. And videos to post and posted. So yeah, that's pretty much how Trello works. I have one for YouTube, I have one for my business, I have one for a podcast that I might be starting, and one for school. I highly recommend Trello. It's free, there's a lot of great plugins. One thing that I find really useful for my school board, especially because all of these have due dates, I make a board for each of my courses and I color code them as I do in my bullet journal, and you can view it calendar style and see what's coming up. Moving on to my second page of apps and my final page of apps, because I mostly have folders and stuff that I don't use as often on this one. I have folders for additional social apps, all of my health apps, just random ones that I don't use as often, some productivity ones, and extra photo and video, and music, and also games that I play very seldomly. I also have the Files app, which I don't use very often. Like, I guess, yeah, you can view Google Drive stuff in it, which is nice, but I mostly just use the Google Drive app for that. The next main app that I am using to reach my New Year's resolutions is in my health folder. I have recently discovered the app 7, the app See How You Eat, and I've been using Nike Training for a while. So in terms of daily workouts, I like using the 7-minute workout app, especially because it has a really great Apple Watch version. So pretty much it shows you what to do and tells you how long to do it for from your Apple Watch, which is really convenient. However, there's only a few that are free. You do have to pay for most of them. So for that reason, I really like the Nike Training Club app, which has so many, like, feels like countless free workouts that all you have to do is download them. Takes just a couple seconds, and then you have a trainer telling you what to do, and there's live videos of real people doing the exercises. So I really like that. So if we click start, we'll just skip the introduction. So as you can see, it gives you like a few seconds before you're supposed to do it to get a look at what the workout is, and it gives you a lineup of what the upcoming workouts are going to be. So if you're like me and really basic at working out, but you want to try to get more active, I really recommend the Nike Training Club app. I've also been using the Apple Watch activity app a lot, just because it's there and it reminds you to get exercise. Like I said before, I really like using Google Drive, but I also use Evernote a lot. Not as much on my phone, but definitely a lot on my laptop. Moving down, I have FaceTime, Weather, App Store, Safari. Oh, and I have Bumble. Now, before you get too suspicious, Bumble is more than just a dating app. If you are an entrepreneur or a freelancer like me, I would recommend checking it out. I haven't really gotten into using it a lot yet, but basically, Bumble has 3 different sections to it. The dating app, one for finding friends, and one for networking. So it's called Bumble Biz, and basically you fill out a profile and you can swipe through people just like you would on a dating app and kind of get to know other, entrepreneurs, business owners, and, maybe find ways that you can work together. Then I have Netflix setting, Google Translate, I use every once in a while, Amazon and Kijiji, dangerous, but they're there. Anyway, I think that's it for my productivity apps. Overall, I would recommend you checking out Trello. I use that a lot. Any of those fitness apps are really useful. Let me know in the comments below what your New Year's resolutions are and what you're trying to accomplish in 2018. If there's any way that I can give you any advice or help you out along the way, please let me know, because I would love to do that. All right, that's gonna be it for today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these tips and tricks about my favorite apps for productivity and for goal setting. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button and of course subscribe so that you don't miss any of my future videos. I make videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. As always, I love you all. I hope you're following your dreams and I will see you next time. Bye.